Tonight we are watching a hockey game in what is regarded as the most expensive spot to do so. We are here in Toronto, Canada, outside of the Scotiabank Arena, where it is roughly around $230 to go watch the Toronto Maple Leafs play. But this evening we're going to show you how to cut that in half. Alrighty, and we have just gotten to our seat for the night, which cost us $72. Now, I've sat in Scotiabank Arena in a similar area for $300 at times. So how did I get it for so cheap tonight? Well, it typically goes towards the competition. Tonight, the Leafs are playing the Anaheim Ducks, who are not doing as hot as what it was when I was seeing an original 6 matchup between the Red Wings last year. Now, my players to watch for tonight are obviously going to be Austin Matthews. Everybody's talking about Gretzky's goal record right now because of Ovechkin, but I truly believe it's actually going to be Matthews in 10 years who owns that record. In my defense, I actually did some math here to help with anyone who wants to argue with me in the comments. Matthews right now in his career is roughly putting up 0.64 goals per game and playing on average 70 games a season, which works out to over 700 more games in the next 10 years and like another 448 goals, putting him at 825 in his career, just 69 goals behind Wayne's record. Ovi will at best break that record by a few, so let's say he's 82 goals shy with the pace he's currently on. With the way the NHL is heading, with more and more goals scored each night, I think his production is going to increase. Plus, with players seeming to play for even longer periods of time, I think Matthews finishes his career with 23 to 25 seasons under his belt, and with those extra seasons comes extra games, which means he will probably be the first player in NHL history to hit 1,000 goals. But honestly, take all of this with a grain of salt, given I almost failed grade 12 math. But now for on the Ducks side, the player that I'm most excited to watch this evening is Leo Carlsson. I've been really lucky to spend a lot of time in the SHL, and the fact that he developed his game over there in Sweden and got himself into the NHL at such a high draft pick, I'm just really excited to see how that translates over for the very first time. This was a challenge I was not expecting. So as you can see around me, there's a lot of construction happening at Scotiabank Arena right now, which I did not realize. So all of my notes and all the studying that I did gone out the window. All the little cheap, unique finds not being offered right now. So I have no idea how I'm going to spend this last $28 and make it worthwhile for a great experience here. Hey, could I grab the Cherry Street empanadas, please? Smoked chicken?
No chicken. I don't have chicken. I have the flags.
Yeah, sure. I'll try the vegetarian, please. Okay, so we've got our first meal item of the day. Some empanadas, 4 of them for $13. They didn't have the spicy chicken, so we're going with the vegetarian. We've got a side of chimichurri with it as well, too. We'll take a 1 bite plain, and then we'll go in with the dip. Whew. Oh crap, that was hot. Wow, that was really good though. Getting a little bit of a kick. Kind of like a little bit of a tomato-y vibe as well. You can see we got some beans and corn. Cool. It's actually really, really hot. So we're just gonna dip it into the chimichurri now. All right, cheers. Oh yeah, chimichurri makes it so much better. Honestly, $13, 4 of them. This is pretty solid food. I'm giving this an 8.6, starting the night off strong. That was a solid first period for the Leafs. Anaheim got themselves back in it. It's 2-1. Not gonna lie, did not think Pacioretty would have 2 points already leaving the first period. Kind of miss him on the Habs. Just feels weird seeing him in a Leafs jersey. But now we've got $15 left to spend. Let's make the most of it. We've still got to get a drink because, you know, we can't just skimp out on certain things, right? We do have to try and get a full experience here within the $100, like we've done at so many other stadiums, Ottawa, Buffalo, Edmonton, Anaheim, etc., etc. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this guy's already gone way over budget because he forgot to include the parking, which funny enough is actually one of the more expensive things around here at Scotiabank Arena. Crazy though, they actually give you free parking here at the stadium if you're subscribed to my channel. Jokes aside, because it is such a hassle to park in Toronto, it's either way too far or way too expensive. We actually walked this evening, which was free. So, little tip for you, don't even try. We have finally got our hands on a drink, a nice cold beer for $8. root beer that is, you are not getting within this budget, in all honesty, if you're buying an alcoholic beverage here at Scotiabank Arena. I'd say on average, maybe $18 a drink, so that's just not fitting within our budget tonight. So we're sticking to the soda, and as I sip on this, you know what I was thinking? If you're like, say, of the ages of like 25 to 30, who would you have rather been a fan of? Anaheim or Toronto? Honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards Anaheim. You got to think about it. In 2007, so you would have been roughly around like 10, 14 years old, something like that. You would have seen your team win a Stanley Cup. You've had some great players like Teemu Selanne, Ryan Getzlaf, Corey Perry, Jean-Sébastien Giguère. Whereas like the last like 30 years for the Leafs, yeah, you've had some winners like Matt Sundin and, you know, getting to see Austin Matthews, John Tavares. You know, I'm even thinking back to like Vesa Toskala, Jason Blake. But as far as the playoff performance for the Leafs over the last 30 years, you know, it's kind of a rough go. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think I'm going to be a Ducks fan. All right, the second period has started, and we got to get back to our seats, but we do need to be starting to think of how we're going to spend the last $7 of our $100 budget. You know, a third period snack, if you will. I will say one of the tough things with Scotiabank Arena is in between periods, the concourse does get really, really difficult to walk around and pick up different food options, and like the lines are just super long. I would say if you're getting food, you're probably missing on average at least about 4 to 5 minutes of the start of a period. Alrighty, and that's the second period. Honestly, pretty back and forth. I thought the Leafs were kind of taking away with it, but the Ducks have just been sticking in there. Really good game, and for the value right now, I'd say we're doing pretty good. Let's go figure out how to spend that last $7. Honestly, the most unique way to spend our last $7 is probably going to be at this Ed's sushi booth. However, obviously, sushi's going to be way out of the budget, so we've got to get a little creative here at this last vendor. Alrighty, Leafs win. We've got some wasabi peas. To round, oh wow. Whoa. Okay. That is an acquired taste that I don't think is for me, but that rounds off our $100 budget. Leafs win. And now if you were wondering how I'd rank the overall experience, this is the final breakdown. Honestly, in the past, I've been super critical over the Leafs game day experience, but this evening opened my eyes. For $72, the seat in section 324 was super comfy. Not a ton of leg room, and you're kind of shoulder to shoulder, but you can't have everything. Solid 7.4 out of 10. My food and snacks for tonight was a little tough. That chimichurri was a real game saver, and I think we average out to a 7.2 here. Finally, atmosphere. Last time I was here, it was silent, but Leafs Nation brought some great energy tonight. 7.7 for an average of 7.4. Our last Habs video got us 444 new subscribers. If Leaf fans beat that, we'll come back and show you what $1,000 can get you here. In the meantime, stay best kind.